and welcome. It's mid-September and today I plan to risk planting some carrot seeds. Now the seeds I have are Autumn King and they should have been planted in June or July, but I was happily munching on the spring planted carrots and wasn't really thinking of sowing another crop at that point. Oh, something's tickling me there. So thankfully the weather is still relatively mild and we're certainly getting sunshiny days, and we've still got enough length of daylight that hopefully these seeds will manage to germinate. If I can get them up and germinated before the winter really sets in, I think they'll be fine. I have half a bed here already weeded and prepared, so that's where the new carrot seeds are going. Behind me are the carrots I've been happily munching and harvesting for quite some time now. So I also plan today to harvest the rest of these and chop them up for the freezer or make them into carrot soups ready for munching through the winter. I also have some purple sprouting broccoli seeds and I'm going to plant a few of those in the bed behind me here, right against the house wall. It gets the most sunshine, so hopefully we'll give these a good start in this late summer, early winter sowing. And if I'm lucky, I'll have some early harvesting purple sprouting broccoli next spring. So let's get those jobs done and then we can go and take a look at the rest of the garden and see how things are going. I'm going to have to make a couple trips out here. There's loads. Well, that's it, seeds planted. I think enough carrots to be processing into soup and freezer stock today. And a big pile of greenery ready for the compost. Now I didn't harvest all of them. I still have some in this far corner that I can munch on over the next week or two before I start delving into the carrot soup. Right, let's go and see the rest of the garden. Oh wow, this pumpkin is massive. I'm really pleased with it. I have two like this now. I did have three, but when they were about football size, something ate half a pumpkin one night. I think rabbit, but I'm not certain. Quite horrified. I've never had that happen before. A bit of slug damage when they're very young and small, but never half a pumpkin eaten. Not when they're the size of a football. This is a lot bigger than a football now though. I've still got a bit of netting around it, just to make sure they don't come back and have another go. So as we are mid-September, a few of the other smaller squashes can be harvested today. I won't take many, just 3 or 4. And like the gherkins I so love to grow, they have a little prickly stem at the top. So I have my tatty old towel, scruffy old towel, ready to rub those off the minute it gets cut, and my secateurs to cut them off the plant. So this one is a Delicata Squash, a very sweet flavoured squash, just right for a one-person dinner, a nice size. As it continues to ripen up, this yellow will get darker, and eventually, late in its storage time, it might even start to look slightly orange, but that won't be till next January or February. Oh, another Delicata, yummy. Another nice one-person munch, these lovely little round stripy squash. Now I can't remember what these are called. I will have a look and I'll type it up on the screen for you. This one's looking nice. Where it's been sitting on the ground it's still yellow, but the rest of the squash is green. Pretty. This is my second big monster squash, but I can see the slugs have started munching round its top stem. So I'm going to take it off the plant and let it finish ripening in the house. We got there a leaf and another leafy stem bit. Oh, I roll you out. You're not as big as the first one, but you're pretty mammoth. Oh, you got out of shot. Oh my, heavy. So here, where it attaches to the vine, the pumpkin, where it attaches to the pumpkin plant, it's all soft and squidgy and is getting munched by the slugs. So I'll take this in and let it dry out and heal, and it'll be fine. It just needs this to dry off. Yay! Big heavy pumpkin! The other one I showed you first is even larger. I'm going to put this down, it's heavy. There we go. But yes, might as well pick that today while it's being slug munched, save it getting any further damage. And here in the brassica net, I have a head of cauliflower. Yay! It's had a little bit of munching on the top, I think maybe a slug. But that's okay. I'll douse it in some salty water and chop it up and I'll have that for supper. Lovely. I did have one about a week ago with a plant next to it. So that's definitely a plus. Cauliflower. Woohoo! Even if it is a little slug munched. Yay, I have another cauliflower back here. That's a surprise. So I've had 3 cauliflowers from this bed. Well, I've had one. I've got another one to collect today, and one I'll have maybe next week. And several what look like broccoli plants in the middle. They're looking nice and healthy. The reason I don't know what's going on under here is because I've just kept the nets on to keep the butterflies out. The cabbage white butterfly is a nightmare here in the UK, munching its way through all our brassica crops. So everything outdoors needs to be netted up to stop them getting in and laying their eggs. Definitely had some slug grazing on the top here. I'll pop it in salty water and then chop it up and fry it off. It'll be delicious. The verbascum here outside of the polytunnel is definitely flowering. We've got the beginnings of its little yellow buds. I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping it might be pink, but yellow it is. I've been really loving its big furry leaves. It's as tall as me, ridiculous. Now its friend, oh, can I get up there? Its friend back here along the row is not quite as far advanced. This is its flower head. It's got a lot of shooting up to do, and I'm not sure it will make it before the winter gets here and slows it up. It's certainly going to try though. So maybe in early November we might get a flower, even if it never flowers. It's been a splendid plant. It's done really well here. The Thornless Blackberry is still producing lovely fruits. And now there are so many to choose from in the hedgerows, the birds have decided to leave them alone. So not many, just enough for an extra tasty treat while walking round the garden. Here in the polytunnel, the tomatoes are still putting out a splendid harvest. I do feel sorry for all my UK gardening friends struggling with blight on their outdoor tomatoes. We really don't have the climate for growing tomatoes outdoors. It's just too wet. The plants themselves don't mind, but they do get hammered every year with tomato blight. An extra little bonus is this physalis plant, which has put itself here this year. I grow them in here on purpose frequently, but this year I didn't plant any seeds or young plants. And this just popped up on its own, which is why these are an extra bonus. They cost a fortune here in the shops of the UK and take up lots of space in the greenhouse, but they are delicious. Golden yellow berries. There's one. This plant's got lots more to come, and we probably will get them. I'm regularly harvesting them into late November. They're a very late cropping fruit inside the polytunnel, which is nice. It gives me that extra burst of fresh fruit early into the winter. Delicious. And that's about it in here. Tomatoes and a few extra physalis. There is a squash plant growing in here and it's being hammered with powdery mildew, but as it seeded itself and was a volunteer, I'm really not that concerned. I think next week I'm just going to rip up the plant and get it out of here to stop this mildew spreading any further onto anything else. I've got plenty of other squash outside. I don't need this big monstrosity in here taking up all the space. It's offered me an interesting green speckly squash though. I've no idea what this is, or if it'll taste any good. More tomatoes! Yay! Good job, I love them because there's lots. Can't beat straight off the plant though. Here we are the following morning and I'm jarring up all those carrots for winter storage. Yesterday evening I did prepare them. I cut off their tops and the little thin rooty bit at the end and sorted them out into little tiny baby carrots, middle-sized carrots and bigger chunks of carrot. The little ones and the middle-sized ones I'm just going to jar up, ready to serve with dinners as pieces of carrot. But all the big chunky ones I'm chopping up into centimetre-sized cubes. I'm going to boil them up in the big pan and puree them down, ready for the canning jars. So although I say I'm canning carrot soup, what I'm really canning is carrot puree. So when I'm ready to use my carrots in a carrot soup, I'll sweat off some onions and celery, perhaps add some chicken stock and mix it all in with my pre-prepared carrot puree, ready for a quick, warm, hearty winter carrot soup. So let's get chopping because there's lots to do. I've already got loads in the pan, and as you see, lots more. I've had a good harvest this year. I think carrots and tomatoes have definitely been the stars, though I have got those 3 heads of cauliflower. I didn't plant my broccoli seeds as I was planning yesterday, because when I went to get the cauliflower heads, I noticed there are a couple of broccoli plants under that netting as well, and they should give me early spring broccoli, or maybe even late winter. So I don't want to be flooded with broccoli. First jar of baby carrots all sealed up. I have added a pinch of salt to that boiling water as well, just to help preserve things for longer. And I've decided that I'm not going to puree up my big chunks of carrot into a carrot puree ready for soup. I'm going to jar them up like this as chunks of carrot. That way I can puree them into a soup as and when I'm ready to use them, or I might want to put them into a stew or serve them as diced carrots on the side of a meal. So I'll leave my serving options open by not pureeing them up today. So hopefully lots of jars of chopped carrot. Last one, tiny bit. Yay! A saucepan full of carrots. Oh, and I did slice a few nice ones ready to do with a dip. Cold carrot and a hummus dip this afternoon for lunch. Well, that was a successful morning canning carrots. Lots more than I anticipated when I started pulling them up yesterday. And there are still some carrots in the garden ready to pull up and eat fresh. I ran out of canning jars. These are all the jars I have left in my canning jar stock. Everything's already full of tomato puree and apple pie filling. So I blended up my remaining cooked carrots, added 2 chicken stock cubes and enough milk to make it soupy and liquidy rather than pureed baby food. So I have soup ready for tomorrow and a big bowl of soup I'm going to eat now because it's delicious and I can't wait. A most successful carrot harvest. They've done really well for me this year. Carrots and tomatoes have definitely been the star of the season so far. Oh, I don't know, the sweet corn did really well also, but I've eaten that. It's all gone. It never makes it as far as the freezer. So that's it for today. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. And remember, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to click that like button and let me know. Click subscribe and YouTube will make sure you see my next video. So bye for now and we'll see you next time. And don't forget, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.